Before we know it, another year has passed, and it's the New Year's already. So we come up with New Year's resolutions in an attempt to increase productivity, efficiency, and make this year the year to take leaps and strides in achieving our financial and indeed our big picture dreams. But the same happens again, and another year goes to waste. Why is this? Let's talk about 5 traits that prevent us from achieving our financial aspirations. Welcome to another episode of Money Matters. Number 1, apathy. The biggest threat to financial success is our own apathy. The excuses include, I'll wait till I earn more money, or I'll wait for my next pay rise. I want to enjoy my life. I'll wait till the economy has improved first. And even, I don't really like to think about the future. For the young, even if you're only just starting out your first job, it is crucial to start forming good habits from a young age. Getting into a routine of saving just makes things easier throughout your lifetime because you don't have to think about it. You're already saving. The more opportunity you give yourself to make excuses and opt out of saving, the worse off you will be in the future. We are creatures of habit, and thus we must form the right habits from the start. And we prevent us from being tempted to opt out and make excuses for bad financial decisions. I will use the analogy of our health and fitness. First and foremost, prevention is better than cure, meaning I hope we can agree that the prevention of ill health is better than seeking a remedy or cure for it. A bad diet, for example, can lead to all kinds of health issues, obesity being a precursor to many critical illnesses. If you get into a habit of eating an unhealthy breakfast full of saturated fats, high levels of refined sugar, low fiber, low nutrition, then you follow with a lunch that is full of processed meats and without vegetables, and then with a dinner that is calorific and high in carbohydrates and high in fat, washed down with alcohol. The result is an overwhelmed digestive system, a massive increase in weight, and organs that struggle to keep up with the demands of the diet. Throughout the week, your daily habits include sitting at your desk at the office, on the couch at home, no exercise to speak of, and late nights binge watching box sets. Over time, your health and fitness deteriorate, and major health issues begin to appear with a chain reaction of health events. You have doctors and dietitians helping you to fight your health issues, but your habits are hard to break. Apart from the health issues, your biggest battle is with yourself and breaking your lifelong habits. In the end, you die young, which devastates your friends and family, all because you started with the wrong habits. Prevention is better than cure. In finance, starting life with poor financial habits is also devastating in its own way. Your financial fitness takes a beating, and you live a life so dependent on your monthly income. You become a slave to your job. It also greatly counters the power of compounding, one of the greatest ways for savers to seek financial freedom. For example, if a 30-year-old started saving $10,000 per month every month until the age of 60, that's a total saving of $3.6 million, which if this grows at 10% per annum, will be actually worth, after 30 years, nearly $22.9 million. Not bad at all. However, if a 20-year-old saves at the same rate of $10,000 per month for 30 years until age 50, the total contribution is still the same at $3.6 million, and kept it invested for another 10 years till the same age of 60, the total amount is now over $62.2 million. That's the power of starting 10 years earlier, nearly 3 times as much at the end of it all. To start saving and investing early is one of the most powerful and easy ways to ensure your financial success. Number 2, not taking enough risk. This one might sound confusing to many, but risk takes many forms, more than many realize. For most, risk means market risk, the fluctuations of financial markets and investment portfolios. We all welcome the positive volatility, meaning when our portfolios grow in value, but hate the negative volatility and struggle to control our fight or flight instincts when markets crash or head for a sustained downturn. Market volatility is inherent with investing in the financial markets. You just have to accept this. But we need not worry so much about the short-term volatility in the markets. The fact of the matter is, nearly all retail investors have long-term investment time horizons. Investors are investing for their retirement goals, for example. Therefore, you can use time to your advantage as a mitigator of short-term fluctuations and rely on the fact that financial markets always eventually go on the rise. In fact, if we take the S&P 500 index as an example, from inception in 1926 to the end of 2021, the index returned an average of 10.49% per annum. Sure, there will be dramatic downturns and crashes along the way, but if you can manage your liquidity and temper your investment temperament, then you can enjoy the returns the financial markets have to offer. If you continue to fear market risk and stay out of the markets and just hoard a load of cash, then you will likely suffer inflation risk, shortfall risk, and then longevity risk. This means that the interest rate you get from the bank on your hoards of cash will lag behind the average inflation rate. And I'm not talking about the current high levels of inflation, but the average of anywhere between 2.5% and 3% inflation we usually experience. Suffering the effects of this silent and deadly killer of wealth means you are guaranteeing that your wealth is reducing in real terms over time. Next, shortfall risk means you miss your target. Perhaps this means missing your retirement target, meaning you haven't accumulated enough wealth to sustain your aspirational retirement lifestyle. The hoarding of cash and not investing in the markets has not helped this fact. Finally, longevity risk means you run out of money before the end of your days. By hoarding cash and not investing in the markets to generate any meaningful income, you run out of money during your retirement years. What a regretful and sad way to live out the rest of your days by having to sell your assets just to put food on the table. Number 3, seeking big wins and shortcuts to success. We've heard the stories now and again. Someone usually already well known and with some capital behind them wins big on a stock that was worthless one day and worth billions the next. From Peter Thiel's investment in Facebook to Li Ka-shing's big win in Zoom. We envy these heroes and wish we could find our shortcut out of the daily grind and achieve financial enlightenment. There's no doubt that journalists tell only a tiny perspective of these heroic wins. What they omit from the bigger picture is the other investments that didn't quite work out. That many of these long shots never amount to anything. That these big wins only amount to a small proportion of their overall portfolio. They tell a distorted view of their portfolio and investment strategy. The reality is that all retail investors don't have the risk appetite nor the capacity for loss on these long shot investments, even if they think they do. Their eyes firmly on the prize without thinking about the probability of dramatic losses. Therefore, greedy investors go looking for a stock that no one's heard of. They want to be the investment hero only to end up being an investment zero. In contrast, excellent gains can be made with the biggest of names in the world. Just think of Apple, Tesla, Starbucks, to name but a few. All brands that we are likely to use ourselves or know someone that is a user. Household names that have made a fortune for their investors. In reality, excellent investment gains are not hard to find. Number 4, not sitting on your hands. Every day from morning till night, we are bombarded with information about the financial markets, nearly all of it concerning the here and now, shared by experts and influencers in the industry. More information is good, right? Not always. You see, the information is nearly always short-term in nature, very short. Yet retail investors nearly always have long-term goals, goals such as retirement, university fees, passing of wealth to future generations, philanthropic goals, to name just a few. This means the information we are bombarded with every day throws us off course. It reconditions our brain to think too short-term. It triggers our fight or flight instincts. It challenges our investment temperament. The result? Investors' actions, or shall I say reactions, are the biggest cause of severe losses on the financial markets. Take Peter Lynch's Magellan fund that he managed for Fidelity. producing an average of 29% annual return over 13 years from 1977 to 1990. Yet, a study by Fidelity revealed that his investors actually lost money. Why is this? The study revealed that investors often bought at the peak of the market when everything was rosy, and often sold when markets were on a downturn. The result of this momentum investing was that they actually lost money despite Peter Lynch's excellent record. If only they had just sat on their hands. Number 5, wasting money. This encompasses several wealth-wasting habits. First and foremost, people never seem content with their lives, and with the destructive nature of social media, people fall into the habit of feeling that their lives are empty and that they need to buy more and more things to fill their lives with joy and happiness. This cannot be further from the truth. It is self-destructive to think that we need more material goods in our lives to make our lives happier. It is self-destructive to think that others have more than we do and are happier than we are. It is self-destructive to think that money leads to happiness. We see every day, from morning till night, a distorted view of the world on social media. And we take part in the game of life. Whatever interests we have, handbags, watches, cars, restaurants, traveling, there are more ways to burn through our wallets and purses than we can ever earn in income. And nearly all of these interests are destructive to our wealth, our financial well-being. Here's what I'll say. If you like to shop, go on a shopping spree. Buy an Apple, buy a Coca-Cola, buy a McDonald's, buy a Starbucks, buy a Tesla, buy an Hermes. Yes, that's right, buy their shares, and many others too. Why not? Look at all of the brands you use every day and then go ahead and buy their shares. And then share it on social media. Why not? Let's make buying shares in our favorite brands go viral. Next, be conscious of fees, all fees. When investors buy financial products, they don't often question in enough detail the fees involved in their investment. The industry is still awash with opaque and inflexible financial products designed to confuse the investor and charge them a small fortune. It's time we ended this, and it can only end if investors are more inquisitive about what they are buying. Know what exactly you are paying for. If you are receiving a service, for example, management of your investments, then how is it paid for and how much are you paying? Are there policy fees, exit penalties, and whether you are tied into the product? Understand other variable and hidden costs, and if you still don't fully understand it, then don't buy into it. Walk away. There are other better options out there. For too long, it's not just in the financial services industry, ridiculous fees still exist just because they have done so for decades. It's time to change this and expect better. It starts with the customer being more aware of what they are paying for. Of course, fees have to exist, but they should be fair and transparent. Make a change for the better. Overall, it pays to look inwards and change the one thing we can certainly change as investors, ourselves. The markets do what they do, irrational at the best of times, humiliating at the worst of times. But we can study and condition ourselves to do better. We don't need to be investment heroes, just avoid the common pitfalls and we stand a good chance to succeed. Better still, find a wealth advisor you can trust with a small amount at first. Ask your friends, ask your colleagues for a recommendation. But don't choose the brand, choose the person. It's not just about ability, it's also about integrity. A wealth advisor with great ability but poor integrity is a dangerous one. Find one you can get started with and build on that relationship with regular communication and continued action. I wish you happy investing and a bright financial future. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Let me know what other topics you would like to hear about in future videos. If you liked the video, hit the like button, comment and subscribe. Remember to share it, and I'll see you in the next episode of Money Matters.